This is the FAT for P1 lower right. Package system lower right. This is it. John's going to show us a little bit of things on this Packers pod. We've got control panel on the right and the air system underneath it. And then on the left hand side we have all the pressure. So I'm going to ask John to point out some stuff. John, let's start at the fast fill pump. Alright, there's your fast fill pump. It's the same thing as what we had on the previous FAT. The inlet valve to the pump, yep, there it is. And then we also have the same bypass valve, yep, right there, yep. And that's set about 350 PSI. So your fast fill system can get up to about anywhere from 250 to 350. Now if you follow that supply line, John, to the high pressure pumps, you can see that you got the big little pump, yep, on the right hand side. That's low flow high pressure, and then the big Haskell pump is higher flow high pressure. Let's follow the high pressure lines. We go up. Yep, and there's your two pressure gauges that register from 0 to 20,000 PSI. You can see you've got your high pressure autoclave valves, and then they all lead to the right side of the panel, and then I believe it goes down. Yep, it goes down underneath the tank's frames, and you can see that they exit the pod lower right. Okay, while I'm down here, John, let's point out the air lines that also go to the cell room. Yep. Yep, you've got your 80-pound line, which is on the top, and then you've got your drum pump air line, which is 120, 125 PSI. In fact, you can see the pressure gauge right there. It's set at 125. Okay, show me the 80-pound line. Where does it start? Okay, yep. Goes through your filter and your pressure gauge. You've got 120, then you go through your PRV. It's set about 81. And yep, there it is, 80 pounds. And then you have your little capacity tank right there. Again, same thing as the previous Packers, and it goes out through the filter, through your regulator, and it's set again about 125. And that also exits Packers lower right. Okay, that's it inside the pod. We're going to go show you the patch panel that's inside the cell room. Okay, John's going to point out some of the lines. Yep, those are the lines that came from the Packers pod, again the lower right pod, and follow those to the patch panel. Yep, and there we are. Again, a similar system to what you got. We've got an oil 1 and an oil 2 line, and they all go to the bracket? I think the bracket is right there on the right. Oh, yep, there's your connection bracket right there. So that's the patch panel. Pretty simple. That's pretty much it. Okay, let's go take a look at the computer screen where Alberto is. Okay, here we have Alberto at the computer screen, and he's going to walk you through a little bit of the software. We're going to give you a general idea of what it is, and then we're going to do a pressure test for you. Okay, Alberto, go ahead.
Alright, so this is the same software package that we verified with Tony May about a month and a half ago. We have a process flow diagram here. These pipes and valves and pumps reflect the control system that we have. You can click on these valves to turn the valves on and off. You might be able to hear it in the speaker for the camera. We can turn on and off pumps. You can control the whole system here using the process flow diagrams. You see the pressure transducer readings here reflected on the screen. And then to the right you have your graph. We have two channels for the Packers 1. We have the oil 1 and oil 2, which is the two plots. You can show or hide the plots. And then also we have our login control, which right now is just blank because we're just testing the process flow, so nothing's really filled in here. And then you have your camera controls. You can open your cameras. You can select between looking at the cell cameras. Right here is the cell. Or you can choose between looking at the camera and the pod. There you go. So we got our camera controls, we got our graph, and then there's some logging configurations we can set down here. We're not logging right now, but this would indicate how fast you want to log, when do you want to start logging, and to start a new file or to continue a file, and then any comments that the user may want to put on top of the log.
Which line is oil 1 and which line's oil 2?
So the black line is oil 1 and the red line is going to be oil 2 for this particular test.
Okay, and are we going to just use one line, or are we going to test both of them for this?
Well, we can do either or, but we'll see the pressure build up on both of them. If we still have our little test,
our jumper in place.
So they're actually connected in the back, so we'll see the pressure rise.
Okay, that's good. So for Halliburton to know, we've got both lines jumpered together. So basically, both those lines will be seeing the pressure go up on both of them and holding on both of them, right? Because that's two sensors. They'll actually see two lines. Okay, good. Okay, let's. I'll go into the pod and I'll watch you do the fast fill first. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, we're getting ready to start the fast fill pump. I'm going to have Alberto start the pump, and then we'll just shoot the outflow going into the tank, and then I'll have John slowly increase the pressure just so you can see the pump hold pressure. Okay. Okay, that's the fast fill pump running, and I don't know if you can see it in here. You can see it coming out. Basically, it's the same pump as what we had before. I believe we had like 6 or 7 GPM. So you got plenty of flow. And the last thing, John, could you please just slowly increase the pressure by shutting that valve down, and you can just watch it bring that up to about maybe 200 or so. Okay, that's good. Okay, open her back up and we're done. Okay, thank you. Okay, and the last test we're going to do for you guys is the high pressure. We're going to run both the pumps, and we've got the air turned on, and I'm going to go over to Alberto and watch him pressurize. Okay, Alberto, go ahead.
Alright. So this is our camera and our pod pointing at our strain gauges. We'll monitor these while we're pressuring up our lines. Alright, so right now we're at 0 PSI. We're going to go ahead and just cycle our pumps.
So you're recirculating right now?
Recirculating now.
Okay, so right now Alberto's just recirculating the liquid so that we can get all the lines filled up and get rid of all the bubbles.
Alright, so we're going to start closing off our vents. So we're scaling back on the pump. Shut this down, and we should see pressure build up on both of our lines.
Yep, you can see it going up.
Okay, so we got our manual, our analog gauge here and our digital transducers over here. So we're going to ease up on the pump, give it a little bit more current. You'll see how that current goes, the pressure builds up as we increase current. We're going to try to get it to around 15,000 or so.
Okay, yeah, why don't we go to about 15,000, somewhere between 15 and 20, and then hold it.
I think the record is set for 17. Alright, so that's about 15.2, 15.3.
Okay, so if you shut the pump off, then you lock it in, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and then what we want to look at now is your graph and make sure that you're holding steady.
So that's the graph going from 0 all the way up to around 15,200. That's our oil 1 graph by itself and our oil 2 graph. Notice they're both right on top of each other, so it's because we got our lines piped together.
Right, the jumper together, right? Yeah. So 1 and 2 should read the same thing, which they do. And what's our spec, Alberto?
Our spec is after a settle time of, what was it, 30 minutes or so. after a settle time of 30 minutes that it holds 150 psi. It holds for no more than 150 psi drop every 30 minutes.
Okay, I gotcha.
So we won't do the whole thing here, but we ran a test of this earlier. We took a screenshot of the graph and we'll send it over with this video.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'll burn the DVD, and then if you could make the graph for me, I'll send that along with this DVD. But you can see right now, folks, that right there we've got a pretty steady. We've got a black and a red line that are pretty steady right now. So.
Yeah, not much change in the transducer. There's going to be a little bit of a drop due to settle time, but not much.
Can you zoom in on that a little bit, and let's just
so
see.
We'll take off the auto scale. These are graph functions here. Take a snapshot of the window. I will also stop our auto scale for the X.
Looks nice.
Yep.
Pretty straight. Okay, that looks good. Thank you, sir. And again, you got the curve. You're gonna give that to me, and then I'll send that along with the DVD.
That's right.
Thanks to you and John. Thank you. You guys did a great job. Appreciate it. And we'll see you later.